So the very first mechanism of action of this nootropic agent is by increasing regional or cerebral blood flow. Okay, so how can we increase the cerebral blood flow? By providing a good better blood circulation to the brains, to the neurons, plus by inhibiting thrombus formation. Okay, thrombus should be inhibited. Thrombus is a kind of a blood clot which will hinder the blood supply. Okay, next mechanism of action of these nootropics agents are by providing direct support to the neuronal metabolism. Okay, direct support to neuronal metabolism. Okay, like the most important thing here is means what happens in this dementia or Alzheimer's kind of problem means there will be a decline in the acetylcholine level. Okay, so basically how can we inhibit this reduction in the acetylcholine level? Yes, by inhibiting the metabolism. Like we have got the enzyme acetylcholine esterase which is metabolizing acetylcholine. So by inhibiting that enzyme we can increase the level of acetylcholine. Next mechanism of action is by enhancement of the neurotransmitter. Enhancement of neurotransmitter. Okay, so acetylcholine in particular is been required. Next mechanism is improvement of the discrete cerebral function. Okay, like for example your memory. Improvement of discrete cerebral function, sample memory. Okay, so these all agendas can be achieved in various ways, like by increasing blood circulation. How can we increase the blood circulation? By providing vasodilation, isn't it? Either by or you can say apart from this, by availability of your acetylcholine. How can you increase the level of acetylcholine? Either by inhibiting the metabolism or by increasing the synthesis. Okay, so we have got various nootropics which will increase the synthesis. How can we increase the synthesis? By providing the raw materials which are required for the synthesis of acetylcholine, like choline. The availability of choline has been increased by nootropics, by which they can increase the synthesis of acetylcholine. Apart from this, there are various ways by which we can improve this cerebral function, like by adrenergic blocking action, by NMDA antagonistic action, by dopaminergic agonistic action. Okay, by all these things we can provide nootropic kind of action. Okay, now next we will see the classification of drugs, or you can say the cerebroactive drugs may be grouped into mainly three classes. Okay, so this cerebroactive drugs are grouped in three classes. Okay, so depending upon the mechanism of action, the first class is cholinergic activators. Cholinergic activators. Okay, examples are tacrine, rivastigmine, donepezil, and lastly galantamine. Okay, so the main feature of these agents are, these agents mainly act by inhibiting the enzyme acetylcholine esterase. Okay, so you people might be knowing this acetylcholine esterase is the enzyme involved in metabolism of acetylcholine, and now when we are inhibiting this enzyme, there will be increase in the level of acetylcholine in the surviving neurons. Okay, now second class of drug is glutamate antagonist, or you can say NMDA receptor antagonist as such. Glutamate NMDA antagonist. So these agents mainly inhibit the excitotoxicity produced by the neurons. A very single example, memantine. Okay, and the third class, we cannot group it in the other various mechanisms, so we have given miscellaneous cerebroactive drugs. Okay, means they are providing the nootropic action by various other mechanism. So miscellaneous cerebroactive drugs. Examples are paracetam, pyretinol, also known as pyrithiazoxine. Pyrithiazoxine. Okay. Next we have got dihydroergotoxin. Next we have got pyribydyl, and lastly ginkgo biloba. Okay, so basically these all are the classification of nootropic drugs. Now we'll see about these drugs one by one.